is Mark Bell from Super Training Gym, strongest gym in the West. This is Tara Getty doing some reps on her deadlifts after she did a 380 reverse band deadlift, which was a pretty good PR for her. So we just had her lower the weight by about 80, 90 pounds or so and just go for some reps, and she ends up getting about, I think she does about 10 reps here. It's a good idea on max effort day to lower your weights a little bit and try some repetitions. As powerlifters, we don't get a chance to go up over 5 or 6 reps very often, so why not take that opportunity to do so. Challenge yourself, try to get rep records with different weights. Try to see how many times you can do 300, 400, 500 pounds. Just challenge yourself and challenge your teammates and the people that you lift with. Try some different stuff out. This is one of our new guys doing a reverse band squat. He's got about 5 plates on there, I think, and a little bit of change. I think it was about 560 he had on there. This is David Baffis. David and I on this day are doing a squat with chains. Oh, good. Quinn found Tinkerbell. We're doing a Donny Thompson squat session here, which is basically 5 sets of 2 reps. It's 5 sets of 2 reps with chains, and each and every set we add chains. The first set on this week we started with 3 chains. The week before we started with 2 chains. It's going to take a minute, okay? And we also kept the weight about the same on each set. So we're just adding chains to each set. We're not adding actual bar weight. Here's Greg Buffington getting ready for a meet here at Super Training that we have coming up in November. He's looking to squat, 770, 800 pounds, somewhere in that range. So these sets get to be pretty interesting because in the beginning they move pretty fast. But as you get moving along, they get moving slower and slower because you're adding those chains. It's a little bit different from dynamic work, but not too much different, because you're kind of starting out with a weight that's a little bit challenging right off the bat, rather than with dynamic effort work you might only be starting with about 50%. Here you're starting more with like 75 or 80%. That's going to take a couple minutes. It's loading up. On this day I used 575, and I think ended up with about 6 or 7 chains on there for the last set of doubles. Here's Robot doing some reverse band deadlifts. Reverse band deadlift just allows you to overload your deadlifts. In some cases you're going to overload by 10 to 15% or so. Some people might be a little bit over that. Just depends on the lifter. If you get way up over 10%, then you want to try to find a different exercise. Try to find something that you suck at rather than something that you're good at. Here's G-Buff going again with the reverse band. The way we have this band set up, it's not giving you a ton. I'd say giving you maybe about 80, 90 pounds out of the bottom, but gives you 0 help at the top. He polished that lift off pretty good. I believe that was 805, if I remember correctly. And he should have went up, but he's wimpy, so he didn't. But I think he felt good, he just handled that weight, and it's an individual thing on how far you really want to push it. You see the chains also are deloading almost completely at the bottom. You can see them, almost all of them are resting on the floor. That's the way you want to set up chains. That's a big difference between chains and bands. The bands will be tight throughout the whole movement, whereas the chains will come off the bar almost completely at the bottom of the lift. Here's David going again. I think now we're working up. We did some singles. Or he hits this one for a double, it looks like. But we started to add a little bar weight, and we started to hit some singles on this, which is also part of the devious Donny Thompson plan. There's Robot going with around 680 or so, maybe somewhere along those lines. Maybe even that might have been 700. I can't remember. Oh, here's 805. There we go. Really sturdy with that one. That was probably his best squat. Sometimes in reverse band with all that gear on, it gets to be a little funky at the bottom of the lift. And here now we're getting into some singles. Last week I went up to like 620 or something like that, and then this week I ended up being able to go up to about 7. I think I did 720. I was able to push it that much further. You do things in 2 or 3 week blocks and it keeps your mind fresh. And next week I'll back off of this a little bit and do something different. Keeps your mind fresh, keeps you focused. If you just try to push real heavy each and every week, after about the 3rd week or so, it's going to be too hard to continue to do that. There's Lisa. She has a little bit of a problem with rounding over on her deadlifts. But still, that was a good grind on her deadlift. I think she just found out that was 1,000 pounds. So this one here is, I think this is 720 with 7 chains per side, so it's about 1,000 pounds at the top. And that's it from supertraining.tv.